Before I get started working for the night and for the week, you know what I'm saying? It's been a minute since I put a video up. I've been busy with real life and dealing with internet nonsense and people that don't know their fucking place. Like, I don't understand why people how can you be that angry over somebody else on the internet? Like, legitimately. Like, I have people I get annoyed with just because I don't like their face. But I would never go doxing. I would never go out and, like, you know, find somebody else to dox them. Like, it's just not, no. Like, yo, for fuck's sake. You know what I mean? It's, completely unnecessary. But anyway, right? So, I found this article about Philadelphia. And I was reading it the other night, and I was like, holy shit, I got to report on this. This is awesome. Teaching at a Philly school left me so utterly broken, I had to quit. A perspective, right? And this is from the Inquirer. All right. So, let me give you a little background on this. How do I put this? The NBC local affiliate in Philadelphia did a survey of 600 Philadelphia teachers, right? And they actually sent it out to 2,000. Only 600 responded. And I think most of it is because of fear for their jobs, you know what I mean? And because the union told them not to, things of this nature. But for the 600 that did, I thank you, you know what I mean, for sharing your experiences and what's going on. And I think this is pretty awesome. Well, it's not awesome. It's awful. You know what I mean? But it really it sheds some light into what happens in inner city schools. And a lot of you people on the internet really have no idea how bad it really fucking gets. So let me bring you the ideology. During my first year as teacher in the school district of Philadelphia, I was nominated to be featured on the district's website, Inspiration Corner. I helped facilitate the Writers Matter program for my students, helping one win an award I ran for and won. Our school's election for building representative, when the district did walkthroughs, my principal consistently told me that I was a shining star. When I decided if I would come back this year, she joked that she wouldn't be a good reference for me because she wanted me to stay. I don't say any of this to brag, but to show you I have been committed, dedicated, and respected. I also say this because last week I handed in my resignation. During my first 2 years at McDaniel Elementary, I have witnessed some terrible and tragic things. Countless staff leaving, violence between students, towards staff, and from outside, adults attacking students. All of this, I still decided to come back because I wanted to be part of helping to change the culture of the school. The staff who returned this year were strong and incredibly dedicated. Every adult in that building cares immensely for the well-being of our students. But the situation only got worse this year. I don't know why they have a picture of an individual in like a clean suit. I don't know what that's about, right? Oh, it's somebody from the EPA, right? Yeah, fucking more and more of this nonsense. And let me be real. Like, when you have 78% of your community being born without a father, this is going to happen. Legitimately. Like, this is going to happen. This is the end result of relying on women to raise kids. Because they don't care about their kids. Like, I know we all go, oh, man, moms love their kids. No, they really don't. They care because their kids are their meal ticket. Legit. And that's on some real honest to God stuff. Like, legitimate. That is on some honest stuff. Women's kids give them the ability to be taken care of. You know what I'm saying? Like, real shit. That's why, you hear about the welfare moms. That's a real thing. Right? And that's why you hear about, women try to trap dudes with babies. Why? Because that's a meal ticket for them. And most of the time, that kid will be fucking neglected. Because women really only care about themselves. They care about because that's their biological imperative. That's what they're made to do, is take care of them and them alone. Just to understand where we are. All right. And this is why you need dads, because dads are literally the one who wants to fucking make sure that the kids are okay, because he's going to be handing off what he built to them. And he knows he is responsible for them financially. So he wants them to be successful. Real shit. So during my first 2 years, I taught 3 very small sections. While still difficult, the smaller classes at least made my room more manageable. What did we do entering this year? We tried to save a couple dollars by closing the primary building and condensing all the grades K through 8 into one building. Sorry, grabbing a drink. For over a month beyond the leveling deadline, I had upwards of 40 students in my 8th grade class. A class that last year was totally out of control and went in 3 sections. Again, I continue to witness more mayhem and violence. No one is coming to save us. When I consistently brought my concerns to our principal and pleaded for help, I was told things like, no one is coming to save us and no help is coming. That is fucking tragic. But the reality is, you can't govern social behavior. You can make laws all you want to, but all you're going to do is fill the prisons up with people acting the way they're supposed to act. When you have no consequences for your actions, this is the end result of that. This is what's supposed to happen. This is a design feature, not a flaw. Legit. This is the end result of feminism. Feminism's cute for rich white women. It's fucking awful for anybody in the lower and lower middle class area. Legit. If you make less than 50 grand a year, good fucking luck to you. Because the government will give you 52,000 a year. And that's what a dude would have to make after taxes just to outspend the government. So how are you going to take care of a woman and the children and be able to have her put up with your shit? You think your dick's that strong? Because it's really not. Because there's plenty of other dudes who will fuck your bitch. Better than you. Because you have to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the reality of things. This is what happens. This is why you can't rely on women to be adults and be full members of society. This is why we all say the things we do, man. It's terrible. And I'm sorry about that. But I'm just trying to be honest. I was told to hold them for lunch or after school detention. Essentially, the solution was to rely on free labor and stretch us even thinner. I was losing my mind. I was having panic attacks daily, perpetually angry and severely depressed. I was afraid I would hurt myself or say or do something at the school that I could not come back from. I had to resign. I could not be the person I needed to be in order to help our students. I was completely and utterly broken. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, what these kids need are a foot in their ass, right? And that comes from dad. Like, mom can't do it because mom can't be consistent. Women can't be consistent. You can't keep bringing the cops in to threaten the kids because the kids will just shoot at the cops or stop going to school. Either one. And they know the rules. Like, when I was a kid, I knew the rules completely. I absolutely understood what the rules were. Like, what are you going to do, bitch? You can't fucking touch me. I know the rule. You can't win when you have kids who are going, can't hurt me, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You can't fix a situation like that. And these kids, like, I'm not saying they're not dumb, but they're smart enough to know that. They know, hey, look, you have rules, and they don't. You know what I mean? They don't have those rules because they're not charged as adults, and they're not responsible for themselves. And they shouldn't be held responsible for themselves. These aren't little didn't-dos and whatever, fucking racist, terrible bullshit you dumb fucking white fucks say, right? No, that's not the situation. All right? These are fucking children who are making the best out of a fucking awful and shitty situation. What is truly tragic about this situation is that McDaniel is not alone and no one is surprised by my story. Yeah, you're right. Right? Like my city, I live in Harrisburg. Legitimately, like, yo, we top the fucking state in turnover. We're worse than Philadelphia. While many of these situations have to do with student behavior, I do not blame them at all. They are traumatized. Nor do I blame the adults in the school trying to make the best of an impossible situation. This is happening because of a failed system, because of decisions made by our political and district leaders. Yes, sure. They're the ones who decided to increase class sizes. It doesn't matter how small you make the classes. Yo. Who wasted money on outside contracts for ridiculous programs like Jounce, a teacher development program. They did little to advocate for our student families that as the failed war on drugs destroyed communities, who allowed tax abatement to continue and steal our funds, who refused to pay our climate and support staff a living wage, and yet somehow we wonder why we are unable to attract and retain dedicated professionals. No! All right, you are worth what you're worth. You're worth $60,000 to $80,000. And that's not a bad wage. Legit. And it's really not a bad. And I understand I could completely agree with you to go, hey man, we need hazard pay. I feel you. We're putting you in war zones. I can make an argument for that. Legit, I could make an argument for that. But the reality is that what it is that these kids are coming almost completely from broken homes. And you don't want to admit that. You don't want to open up about that. You don't want to open up that can of worms at all. All right? And it's not the black dude's fault. It's not. All right? Like, if you stand here and you tell a black dude, I'm going to put you in a place where there's literally no industry. All right? Everybody has a child support case. And so everybody's selling drugs. And if you step the wrong fucking way, you will get shot. What would you do? You know what I mean? Like, what do you expect these individuals to do? This is basic human nature. You cannot put somebody in a war zone and expect them not to become a soldier. Like, that's just a fact of life. When you're having gunshots ringing out in your house at night, you become hardened. You have to, or you die. One of the two. Either you're prey or you're a predator. If our adults are feeling this way, how must our students be feeling? For us, it's a job. For them, it's their lives, and we are failing them. Enough Band-Aids on bullet wounds. I have to believe we are on the same side, so I'm asking the members of the school board to be leaders, to be proactive instead of reactive. The school can't fix this. This is not a school problem. This is a society problem. All right? Legit. This is a societal problem. More taxes, more money will never fix this. We spend $1.1 trillion a year on education in this country. We spend more than anyone else in the world on education. I know everybody thinks, oh, we did it. We spend more than everyone else in the world on education. And we come up with the worst results. Why? Because we're in a situation where we have destroyed our fucking communities. Legitimately. That's the big difference. Is that the rest of these places that we're measuring against, for the most part, are homogenized nations, right? I know I'm butchering that fucking word. God damn it. I know I really am. I apologize. Some words evade me. I can't talk like you, but I can understand you, right? These are places where they're not interracial, you know what I'm saying? They're not separate cultures and separate places. United States is very distinct because of, number one, the size of its landmass, right? Just to begin with. So you have people who are mountain folk, individuals who are ocean folk, people who are living in tropical situations, individuals living in, swamps, people who live in, high plateaus, like plains. Like, you have so many different types of individuals out here. All right. And in each of these places, you've also added massive amounts of cultural differences, and then stood there and yelled at everybody for trying to maintain their culture. And that's a big problem too, is that we have literally no culture in this country. There's nothing to rely on. There's no steady ground to hold yourself on. Enough Band-Aids on bullet wounds. I have to believe we're on the same side. Oh, wait. Building condition. To be productive instead of reactive, look at how they handled our district's building conditions for a good example of reactive leaderships. I'm asking for the board to offer a real and tangible support to McDaniel Elementary now. They need more qualified adults in the building immediately. But bigger than that, I'm asking to be bold and aggressive in advocating for our most neglected schools and communities. U.S. Secretary of Education Betsy DeVos, politicians in Harrisburg, and local real estate developers aren't hoping and asking nicely to take our resources. They are unapologetically doing whatever it takes to enrich themselves at the expense of our most vulnerable. No, they're not. You're fucking communists. More communism and socialism does not work. It's obvious communism is what got you here. I'm asking the board to increase the number of support staff in schools and offer a living wage to professionals, paraprofessionals, and climate staff in our next contract. These folks work with our special ed students and help monitor and assist with student behavior. They're also more likely to be women of color. Oh, fuck off. That's not what you need. Like, yo, this is not going to help the environment. You can create the most perfect environment possible at school. They still got to go home and live with roaches and rats. Like, yo, dumb bitch. Yo, in the richest country in the history. Oh, fuck off. I hate that Jimmy Dore line. Stop begging for scraps. Enough band-aids on bullet bones. We need real leaders who recognize that the power comes from the people. And in order to win, we need to build authentic coalitions that support one another's, not just show up for photo ops and platitudes. Leaders like those in the caucus of working educators who are trying to build stronger union. Oh, fuck off. The unions have the goddamn problem. Anyway, right? Yeah, look, so that's basically what this article said. I wanted to bring this to y'all because I thought you would find it fucking interesting. You know what I mean? Yo, I'm Tom Peace from Pinoy News. You know the situation. Holla at your boy. Peace.